This is a longboard, and this is longboard dancing. You see it everywhere in social media, such as TikTok, Instagram, or anywhere that you can post something cool, and it does look cool. And I want to see if I can learn 3 of these moves, which are going to be the cross step, the 180 step, and the switch 180 step. This longboard isn't mine. I'm just borrowing it and they definitely want it back. So I only have one day to hopefully succeed in all 3 of these dance moves. And my level of success is probably gonna be different than a professional, and maybe put all 3 of these moves together. Now, there's only one way to find out, so time to take this and roll out. Welcome to my channel. I take on different challenges and adventures and hopefully encourage you to take on adventures yourself. Now, if that seems like something you want to do, be bold. Maybe subscribe to this channel and let's just get into learning if I can even balance on this thing, and let's get into longboarding. The first step was just to get used to longboarding. So just had to go to the basics, getting used to balancing on the longboard, being able to get a little bit of speed, and being able to turn. All the tricks that I'm doing is going to require at least being able to stay on the longboard. After playing around and maybe getting a little bit distracted during the process, decided to move on onto the next step. What I need to do before moving on is getting used to my goofy side. I'm a goofy goober, rock. Bum, ba, ba, bum. So because my right foot is in front, I am standard, and if my left foot was in front of the board, that would be goofy stance. The 180 switch requires me to be able to be on the other side, meaning I need to get comfortable with that, and that took a long time, with almost 2 hours of practice on the standard side and the goofy side in order to get used to just being on the longboard. I feel like I had everything I needed to finally get into the tricks themselves. That's 2 hours down. Clock is ticking. So the first trick I decided to go is with the cross step. You'll be standing on your longboard however you normally do it. Then you're gonna bring your front foot further back onto the board, as close as you can to your back foot. And you're gonna put it on the heel side, meaning you'll end up turning towards whatever your heel side is. Then, as the name states, the back foot crosses over in front. Then your front foot, which is now your back foot, goes back and front, and then you reset. So I decided to break it down. I had the board flipped up upside down on flat ground, so if I fall down here, that's a little bit too embarrassing, just to get the feet placement. Then I felt pretty confident. I started trying it out, and the success was definitely mixed. The hardest part is when you finally cross over. You're gonna be completely balancing on your non-dominant foot, and that was way harder for me. So to break it down a little bit easier, I had my wonderful girlfriend to help me out, where I used her just like a kid who would first learn how to ice skate, holding onto her hands and allowing me to learn how to do this. It was very nice of her. It was very cute, and this was very efficient because I could worry about the balancing just a little bit less, figure out where I needed to put my feet, and also feel like that I'm not going to die. Another difficulty was not having enough speed. The only time I felt confident was I didn't have a lot of speed, but when the board wasn't moving, when I finally crossed my foot back over to the front, I just ended up pushing the board backwards. It was trying to find that balance of enough speed for me to try it, but not too much speed that I felt like that I was just going to eat pavement for dinner. After a couple more attempts and 40 minutes of practice, I was finally able to get something that I would call a success. Does it look pretty? No. Is it graceful? No. But you know what? For one day, I would definitely call that a success. I was able to do this move on the board while it was moving. With spending almost 3 hours on just 2 moves, I was running out of time, so it was time to move on onto move number 2, the 180 step. The goal of the 180 step is to start in your regular stance and then end up in your switch or your opposite stance. So for me, it was standard to turn into goofy. In order to accomplish this, you start in your regular position. Then you're gonna move your foot down and you're going to turn it. Then you're gonna step on the edge, which is gonna make the longboard starting turning towards your toes side. While it is doing that, you're gonna now pick up your back foot. You're gonna be balancing on your dominant foot, and that back foot is going to swing around into the front of the longboard. Then you just reset, and now you're gonna be riding on the longboard off into the sunset, now on the opposite side. Now this is the reason I was practicing the goofy side, or my bad side, for such a long time, because I knew I had to get to this point. Because it was very efficient with the other move, I practiced my footsteps on the board upside down, and then I had a little bit of girlfriend help in order for me to not worry about the balance. But I did one extra step. What I decided was, because I needed to balance on one foot on the side of the board, with my foot being a different direction that I'm not used to, I decided to just do laps around the circle, practicing that. There was that one spot in which was the most difficult I had to balance because my body is in a position that is not used to. So why not just get used to it? I did a couple of laps, and when I felt ready or confident, then I thought I would just go for it and try it, and bam, I did it. I did it already. It was amazing. This was easier than the cross step. I thought it was going to be more difficult because I thought balancing and goofy was going to be the hardest part. This one, you were actually predominantly balancing on your dominant foot, so it felt way more comfortable to balance. I couldn't get it every single time, but I was able to get it quicker and more consistently than the cross step. I'm not going to win any awards or medals, or I'm not going to go viral on the internet because of this, but it was another success. This one, in total, took about 30 minutes, and that's not including the 2 hours of just basic practice I did before attempting this. I was feeling confident, but I was running out of time, and I had one last one, which is a little bit more difficult that I found to learn for different reasons, even though it seems very familiar. That is the switch 180 step. If I explain the technique for the switch 180 step, it would sound almost the exact same as the 180 step. The difference and what makes this more difficult is that now you are starting on your weaker side, your opposite side of what you normally board. So for me, since I'm standard, I need to start on goofy. This made this move way more difficult than I thought. Even if the technique was the same, most of the time you are balancing on your non-dominant leg, the one that makes it feel very awkward. You're also riding on your weaker side, which is usually what you don't practice, and there's a reason why it is your weaker side. The good news is the process seems to be working. Did with the board on the ground, had a little bit of help, which made it look like that they probably hold my hand to bring me to the school bus. And I also did the laps getting used to balancing on that one leg. I did a couple of attempts, and it was just more difficult. It wasn't the skill or the move, it was just the balance. I just felt like loose spaghetti most of the time. What helped was going back to the earlier progressions and then moving forward. Not just being stubborn and trying to do the harder thing because I thought I was ready for it. And then it was the moment of truth. I finally got it. I don't look like a dolphin swimming in the ocean or a bird soaring through the sky, but I look like someone who could actually do it. And that's what I call a success. I wasn't able to get it as consistently as the other side, but with 40 minutes of practice, I was finally able to do it. There was only one last thing to do. Finally put them all together and make a combo. I was this much closer to my goal. I wanted to be like Tony Hawk, pro longboarder 2, and actually get a sweet combo, but putting them all together came with their own set of challenges. Trying it a couple of times, I was failing it, only because I'm not super comfortable with longboarding. I needed to find a balance of having enough speed in order to do all 3 moves and without stopping, and not going so fast that I'm gonna be horizontal more than I'm gonna be vertical. That, and because I'm not super comfortable with all 3 moves, if I mess up one of them, which the percentage is pretty high, it makes the whole combo, well, stop. With around 20 plus minutes of practice, I was finally able to get it. So smooth. Ooh, combo times 2. Mega, ultimate, 100 points. Yeah, rock it, dude. Is it super graceful? No. Was it perfect? No. Did it look pretty cool? No. But did it feel cool? Yes. Look, I'm just some chump who grabbed the longboard and borrowed it for a day and see if I could do it. And if I could do it, it means you can do it. It only took me 1 day just to be able to attempt them. And obviously there's a process of refining it, getting comfortable, making it smooth, and making it look, well, internet worthy. But I was happy with my success. So, are you gonna try longboarding, or are you gonna try any of these longboarding dance moves? Are you someone who can already do these, and you're looking at my horrible mistakes? Well, you can always leave that feedback down in the comments below, because me and anyone else who is trying to learn this or is seeing this video is encouraged can get some feedback from this awesome community, and I can learn from my mistakes. Also, if you can do these dance moves, I would love to be able to see them, or any other tricks that you're good at. You can always hit me up on social media, but I definitely need to get this longboard back because I'm really running out of sunlight and my girlfriend's way ahead of me, so I have a little bit of catching up to do. So I better head out now. I'll see you at the next adventure!